I think companies have no options left now. You know, you're talking about more than around 50% of the world population being female, and you want to have single-digit representation of them inside the organization. Just doesn't work. Yeah, you'll dry out of the workforce very fast. On a lighter note, yeah. So I personally believe this gender diversity has become a big, huge topic across the MNCs these days. If you look at what the United Nations would prescribe, they would, I hope they don't come up with a guideline or, you know, which they would push it around to all countries. But as I was mentioning last week when I was talking in the panel, they said that they're expecting 30% on the board, yeah, of female representation. So that's pretty high number. Compared to what we have today. I mean, unfortunately, if you look at, and there are statistics, sorry, I didn't bring them along, but there are single-digit statistics which would prove that women representation is not there on the board. When I talk about these topics, I always make sure that I say I'm not a feminist, yeah? I'm a novel, you know, working woman yes. who want to ensure that, you know, there's a place for women in the workforce. So that, if that's nailed down, then I could talk about it.
Sure.
So, and if you start to look at countries, you know, including Singapore, a couple of weeks back there was a comment that we have to encourage more women force inside the, you know, inside the corporates and the MNCs is the same. You look at Germany, you look at France, you look at US, you look at UK. These are slowly seeping in, and these organizations are trying to, just short of quota, and I would hate to have a quota system, you know, just because you want to, you know, increase the female, you know, percentage inside the organization. So I'll hate that. But just short of that, they're doing just about everything now. And I would see more and more emphasis on this topic coming in the next 1 or 2 years. Having said that, you asked me why should there be women, or, you know, why should we have women representation? I said half the population is female, so we should have, you know, more women candidates inside. But besides that, I mean, there is a different character or personality or, you know, genes that the females bring to the forum. Yeah, and this is interesting, especially when you even talk about financial industry, because in financial industry, if you talk about the front office where you're interacting with the clients, you need to show care, you need to show concern, you need to be diligent about it, you need to be absolutely thoughtful about what you're saying, you need to own those messages that are going out. And this is a typical trait that the female has. This comes very natural to a female. Yeah, and I'm not condemning my male counterparts, but I'm just saying this is a very natural trait that females have. And why would an organization not exploit these traits? Yeah, which comes so uniquely. And all they need to do is to reach out and do it. And there are certain, you know, surroundings or environmental changes these organizations have to do. And I'm glad OCBC has some kind of a child care associated with that. I mean, in Deutsche, we don't have that, but we have flexi hours. We have a whole lot of schemes around that to encourage women to come on the workforce and stay there for longer period. But I personally believe that this is a topic that the MNCs have to look at it. If they are not looking at it, they would be dated very, very fast. It's like you always have an advantage when there's some difference in the herd that you are following, yeah?
Just want to share, actually, you know, I always receive call from campus recruiter. And recently I get quite a number of calls from campus recruiters that say that, can you send me more female students? We're interested. And I ask them why. You know, I always like to say, give me 10 good reasons why I should send you more women. And one campus recruiter answered, he said, oh, you know, when our IT department have more women, the hygiene factor improve. I don't know whether that is true. I've not checked it out. But I thought that was quite an interesting thought. Yeah. What I was going to ask also is that, suppose I am interested really, like the campus recruiter, wanting to get more female students to join the company, or SMU wanting more women students. Do you have any advice for us? Like, what could we do to attract more female to join?
Actually, we were banking on you guys that you all will have more female candidates so we can recruit more.
Okay. Jaya, you want to share something?
Okay, basically, what I observed, I went through a series of environments during my schooling, my college, and back when I came back here into Singapore. I come from a very small town in India, and then went into a city. I was there for a while, and then moved into a country like Singapore, which is more technically oriented. So there is a drastic shift of mindset, what I observe, which really impacts the career of the women. The zeal, what I see in them when they are coming out from the school, is to an extent diminished once they get married. The ratio is falling, as I see. That could be due to the background on the family, or what kind of stresses they face and all that kind of thing. And then once, suppose if they cross that bridge and they get on with kids, then the insecurity is not only at the family front, but also at the organization where they work. There's a kind of a bias once they take a break and then they come back, and then they are not given the same privilege once they are back in, and then that insecurity makes them move away from there, which sometimes hinder their growths. And then sometimes they feel that they are not able to do what their fellow colleagues as men are able to do. Like, for example, if they have a small baby and then they have to stay out for a late night social gathering for the organization, they would prefer to skip that. And then they come to know that they are going away from the situation to an extent. And then slowly they try to diminish the interest. So what I feel is, if that interest can be inculcated in the women, which arouses the professionalism in that. It's not that they don't have it. Actually, there were situations which proved that they are more capable and concentrated compared to men. But such kind of hurdles actually pull them down. And that's why the ratios keep on decreasing. But if those kind of soft parameters are touched in, I'm sure that that is what shows that those people who could accelerate have overcome those kind of situations, and then